podcast where we uncover the stories, strategies, and secrets behind extraordinary success. I'm your podcast host, Robert Murigi, and you'll be building each other from the ground up. Join us as we uncover the blueprints of building a life, career, or a business from the ground up. Subscribe now and never miss an episode from us. And on our today's podcast, we are going to dive into another mechanical proverb, and this one resonates with everyone who has ever gotten their hearts dirty to do something or to achieve a project. And this is a classic example which is normally whispered in all the garages which are doing good in their work. And this one says that the road to mastery is paved with greasy hands and a curious mind. And for a moment, let us stop looking at this proverb as a normal proverb, because this one goes beyond our physical reality of the job. It's about the journey, the dedication, and the essence into ingredients for the true excellence in the world of mechanics, and frankly, in many other fields in our lives. Let us look at the step-by-step of the whole proverb. And when we talk about the greasy hearts, we are not necessarily talking about the dirt that you get, but the sable of the practical experience that you acquire throughout the work experience. It is the many hours that you have spent on this job, the many hours that you have spent thinking about the right way of doing it so that it can come out in the best way possible. And how do we start this journey of mastery? When you listen to that engine where we have a struggling engine, and when you listen to that engine which is perfectly healthy, you are able to see the difference or the discrepancy between the two. And this is where the journey starts. Think about that surgeon who normally works on your teeth, and before that happens, they have to practice so much on other dummies so that they can get it right. And spending those hours. And what happens when you read all the textbooks in the world without having any practical experience? It becomes very hard for you to achieve any meaningful thing in your life. And therefore, for a mechanic, those greasy hearts are the evidence of the hours spent running through that trial and error and making all the mistakes that he can make for them to learn from those mistakes. And this one can act as a tangible proof of all the efforts that you are going to put in this particular job. But the proverb doesn't stop there. It's not just about the physical work that you do and getting the greasy hands, but it's also equal about the curious mind. When are you becoming curious about that thing that you're doing? This is the driving force behind the greasy hands, and it is a desire to understand why something isn't working, to troubleshoot and dig deeper than the obvious solutions. And one of the mechanics asked me whether the true mastery is just following the repair manuals or is just something else which can be done for this one to come out so well. But I said that when you have a curious mind and you're a mechanic, you want to know why the parts are failing. You want to know why these symptoms are coming. It's whether there is a better approach of doing this job. That is the curiosity that fuels the learning process. It pushes them to research, to experiment, and to stay updated on the new technologies and techniques. When we have a very complex engine problem, we are not just going to replace some few parts and hope for the best, but when you have a curious mind, you will systematically diagnose the issue using the knowledge and the experience and the willingness to explore different possibilities. And therefore, a true mastery is just like being a detective, where you pierce through the clues and to solve a mystery in a malfunctioning machine. The curious mind doesn't stop there. The willingness to learn from others. It's about asking questions, which is you are checking from more experienced mechanics and reading that technical rating and staying engaged with the community. And no one becomes better in isolation. It is a collaborative journey. Build it on shared experience and knowledge and that collaborative desire to understand and improve. And therefore, when we have talked about the synergy before, we are going to talk about these two elements. When you want to become curious and when you are also getting your hands dirty, these two things has to work together, and this is what we call synergy. Greasy heads without curious mind leads to a rote repetition and limited understanding. And then theoretical knowledge cannot be applied effectively in the real world, and this happens when you only have curious mind without the greasy hearts, or when you have the greasy hearts without the curious mind. And therefore, it is the combination that unlocks the true mastery when we talk about this. And this proverb does not only talk about fixing cars, but also going across all the other skills, like being a carpenter or being a chef or software developer, or even a podcast host like myself. A path to mastery involves putting in work, getting your hands dirty in your field, and constantly asking questions and seeking new knowledge. And let us look at some of the curious mind that we have in our workshops, and also the people who want to seek knowledge and become the best version of themselves.
So basically, those, what you're calling them group plugs, are these the equivalent of spark plugs in a petrol engine?
No, not really, because the operation is different. It's a little bit different. It's not the same way. It doesn't work the same way.
Why are you removing it today?
Yeah, okay. Now, the first thing we want to do today is we are doing the compression test. You see? And we have the equipment here for doing the compression test. This is compression test for diesel engines. If you check here, the PSI, it is very high, 1000 PSI. It is a very high compression for diesel engines. If I'm doing this, I want to do the compression test because apparently we have some oil inside the coolant reservoir, and you can see the vehicle has been mixing oil and water. We want to find out. We are doing diagnosis to find out why would we have this problem. And the first thing we can do so well is to do compression test to see whether the gasket has gone. There are many ways, or there are many reasons why you would have oil here. And the first thing is when you have a burnt cylinder head gasket. That's the first one. And the second one, it can mix if the cylinder head has cracked because of overheating, and it is mixing from the oil and coolant gallery. We have inside this the cylinder head, we have valve channels, and we have oil channels, we have coolant channels. If it cracks inside, the oil will mix with water, and then it will come back here. So for you to find out all this, if you don't want to just remove the cylinder head without doing the proper diagnosis, the first thing you need to do is to do compression test. And we have the equipment, the proper equipment for that. Let's see how we can do this.
Is this procedure the same for all diesel cars?
Yes.
Or this is specifically for Volkswagen?
This is for all diesel cars. And you're going to find that 2-liter diesel, turbo. This is the one. This is the adapter we are going to use for this particular one. So the first thing you are going to do is make sure everything else is on, but you disconnect the diesel because you don't want to inject the diesel, and we have already done that. It's not there. So once we have this one on, like that, we are going to ask one of our friend to start the vehicle, and we'll see how much compression we have here. Let's go.
And Mr. Robert, what is this here?
This one is called a nozzle. It's called injector nozzle, and this one is used to meter the fuel coming to the cylinder head. Okay.
Okay.
So this is electrical. It has electrical connection. It is electrically controlled. So now this is the fourth grow plug. We just removed it, and we can see some soot here. You can see some white stuff. This means that we have some ingression of coolant, and you can see the erosion have also happened. The pitting has occurred here. You can see the tip has been eaten out. This the coolant leakage to inside the cylinder causes this problem. So anytime you remove your grow plug and it is like this, you have to know that there is some coolant going inside the cylinder.
Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned professional, or simply someone looking for inspiration, one by one we will equip you with the tools and insights you need to lay the foundation of your own success stories. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. Your feedback helps us to grow and bring you even more inspiring stories. Thank you for listening to Building from the Ground Up. Remember, every great accomplishment starts with one single step. What will you build today? And until next time, keep building, keep striving, and keep reaching for your dreams.